to have the Galaxy India in India or in Bharat. So the idea is that these are the blocks what we should be doing. We should have some kind of a core community people, and then extend to wider community, and then public funding if it is there, that is the thing, and then building the infrastructure public usage. So basically this is very minimal infrastructure, and then for public usage, and then expanding as much as possible. So this is the idea. I mean, please do ask me questions, whatever you have, and whatever is not understand. I mean, if it's not clear, I know I'm talking some of the things I have already spoken before, so maybe I could be somehow skipping the things. So if you don't understand, anything is not clear, please do ask. So this is the idea what is right now we are pursuing. Now, is this the best idea or not? Everybody can comment and criticize. Everything is allowed. We can keep doing. I'll just finish with in first 5 to 10 minutes what's the idea and what is going on right now, and then based on that you can also tell more ideas of the things. So to build the core community, the idea is like the core community will be taking up things such as Galaxy Bharat contribution to Galaxy. So basically, we will be contributing in terms of admins and developers, and Galaxy usage, who are users, and also training network. That is what we will try to involve ourselves and contribute also. Now, what is the need of doing these things? Before, what used to happen is like last several years, whenever the Galaxy conference, and I think there is another Galaxy conference in October happening, or let's say training, Galaxy training, academy training, it's happening. Many from Indian geography are attending and are using instances which are in US or in Europe or in Australia. Now, when they are using, obviously, they don't need any another instance within India. However, there is definitely a requirement. The reason is we are several people, and many people are not able to use right now, and many people doesn't have that kind of infrastructure or kind of a computing power. So it's better such a kind of a system is there, then many others can also start using. If we go to EU or other things, maybe right now is enough, but many people at some point will come, then it's not enough. And also, in all those instances, what is happening is they're confined to some of the areas. Like if we see Google Toolshed, which is already having 10,000 tools, but in market or industry, I would say there are probably 20,000 tools, and still another 10,000 tools are not there, and maybe in future more other tools also will come. So those are not there. So to get those things and to also contribute from the geography of India, we need Galaxy Bharat. That's the main idea why we need. So to have this kind of a core thing, what used to happen is people used to go get training and then vanish. That used to happen. They're not doing any projects, and so the requirement is there. We cannot establish easily. And now that's the idea of this Galaxy Bharat, where we will say who are doing, and because we don't have numbers, how many people are interested and how many people we want. There are many. It's not definitely there are many. Like every time, like in 2022, when the conference happened, or that kind of online conference happened, like around 800 to 900 from 1500 or 1600 people were from India, from the world. So it's like almost 50 to 60% from India who are learning, and they're all probably using also. But then we don't know, and there are within India there are many institutes already using Galaxy, but they are only limited to their own specific research area, and so obviously their infrastructure is also smaller for specific to that one. And if you want to do bigger things, that's not a possibility for others. And so to get that, first we need to establish that we want, and we have a requirement. And to do that, first we are trying to have a core community which can actually manage until we get an infrastructure. So basically this core community in the sense is like, if any institute within India, if any government institute is actually sponsoring, then they will take care of everything. That institute or that core group will take care. But we don't have right now such a kind of core group or such a kind of institute also. So that's the reason we are trying to make a kind of core group who will take care of everything. And then we will go in this way, like wider community, public funding, building infrastructure, and the next steps. Now, for to build this one, we are doing, I mean, there are several methods we have been following. So in last 4 or 5 months, we've been trying to do to have a kind of Mattermost, which is similar to Slack. So our own infrastructure completely. And also the idea is whoever is doing what, that they can actually communicate. That's a possibility is there with Mattermost. You can write what you're doing and what project you're doing and where you're in that status about it. And your projects has to be listed in the Git repositories. That is also there right now. But we have to list and do those things so that we know and we want to do that can be established. And those things will be managed by the core community. So and so yeah, in the core community, what we are want is like should have at least minimum number of 2 people who can manage the server, should have minimum of 3 Galaxy developers, basic infrastructure to manage the presence of Galaxy Bharat projects, set up, manage specific projects to India, understand and finalize how to set up Galaxy training network. Like these are the minimum things what we are expecting from the Galaxy core community to do. But for that to do, we need to know the people who are interested and who can do these things. So of course, people are all if are already involving in their own projects, then we will get to know those people, and then we can recognize who can do all these things and how to do, and like that we can next step as and discuss other things can happen. Now, while this is happening, we are also trying to focus in another area, which is about how the decision making and other things has to be done. And for that purpose, we actually, I mean, I've been waiting for this to get discussed for right now. So I would say this today, I will actually announce this and then start doing this. And then, of course, if some other plans are there, we will definitely try to see how we can change accordingly. So the idea is that we will have all these things is done by a Galaxy Bharat Consortium. And this Galaxy Bharat Consortium consisting of 5 parts, because it's the Galaxy, everything was started by the TMS Foundation. And so it's divided into 5 parts. Each part has 20% stake. And part 1 belongs to TMS Foundation, and it's a permanent thing. It will not change. And part 2, because TMS Foundation is doing as a non-profit, that also 20%, which is not a permanent thing. If TMS Foundation is not doing much, then they will also lose that. BioClues is also actively participating in getting Galaxy. So if BioClues is also participating, they will also have, if they are not doing, also lose that. And there is an open category who are not part of any of these organizations. They can also be here. And if people are if institute, private colleges, if they are contributing, anybody who are contributing financially, they are also another part. So that's how we divided this as Galaxy Bharat Consortium. So how we progress, what we do, this will all depend on this one. I written some of the points also, how to recognize those people. This is the idea what we want to go. But I see right now we are very few people. I mean, this is when when we have more people and then more structured and everything, this will come into more concrete way. But the first thing is what we want is to be active. So to be part of this Mattermost, whatever I've been telling, and then actively recognize your projects. That is what first steps should happen. And after that, you can participate in the discussion, and in discussions, how we proceed, how we do. These are the kind of stakeholders that we can do. Apart from that, I mean, if somebody is coming or not, we should continue to do our own things. Like we have our own projects, so you can use already European Galaxy or whatever Galaxy. Keep trying to do your own projects and to involve. Okay, where you want to involve, we already listed in the Mattermost. We have this boards, and in the boards we have already listed what people can do in terms of all kind of things. So for the admin related things, so we have listed out some tasks. So for the scientists, we listed out some tasks you can take up. If you don't know what to do, then you can take up existing ones. But if you already know something, then list your task, what you're doing, and then take up that, so that others also can contribute for your projects or whatever you're trying to do. There are several things to be done, but if you want to do, list it and then discuss. That will be more easier. Otherwise, we will never know what you're doing, who is doing what. And that's the main idea. And we actually maintain everything this completely by ourselves. So even if this Mattermost thing completely goes down, we have a capability now. Within 1 hour, we can again get back everything. This chat.
Sir, I have recently joined Amrita Vishwavidyalayatam for MSc Bioinformatics, sir. I am just in
Okay.
first
Okay.
year, sir. How can I
Okay.
contribute to this Galaxy Bharat, as the Galaxy Bharat is also
Yeah.
recently made? So, what is the path
Yeah.
for that? How can I
Okay.
do all this?
So the first thing, yeah, that's the good question. Again, I mean, I'm ready. So basically, we have this website. You can always go, and almost your initial questions are already answered in the FAQs. I'll directly go to the question what you have to be doing or something. So basically, first thing is right now you should be part of this Mattermost. You have to come to here. So for that, we have this contribute to Galaxy. This form is there. If you have already filled the form, then you will have already be here. If not, please fill this form. Then the next steps that you will be invited to this Mattermost, and the listing of projects and other things you will see. And then you can also talk other things. So that's the initial step, I would say. But apart from that, you can actually as well read some of the FAQs listed. If these are not answered, of course, you can again ask in the Mattermost. That's the best idea. That is what I would say. The first step would be that one.
Okay. And sir, if I complete any project on the Galaxy Bharat, if I contributed to any project, then can I show that on my LinkedIn profile or anywhere?
Sure, sure, definitely. We want that to happen. Actually, people to show that you've been part of and you contributed to Galaxy Bharat Consortium and Galaxy Bharat. That has to be happening. So because that's how we can actually say that we have been doing as a Galaxy Bharat. This should happen more. That's the main idea. It will be
Yeah.
very welcoming. I mean, that's the point right now. So we like, if you can see past things what we were doing. So these are the one of the initial posters, I would say, in the last GCC conference where we actually submitted as Galaxy Bharat. So yes, we will be actually doing more the such things, whatever your projects are there. And yeah.
But sir, there is one thing. If we are working on some innovative project like that, if we do that project on this side as it is open source, so there are chances that others can also access that like that.
Yes, I completely agree. So that for that reason, see, if you're doing something which is you will not be able to openly exhibit or prove it, maybe it's an idea which is a novel idea. Obviously, I cannot it can be completely understandable. Now the point is how you want to do. So for example, what I'm trying to say here is, if you can do the complete project by yourself, then actually you can keep completely closed, and then you can do by yourself. That's completely fine. But it could be at some situation that you might want to ask some others who are already a bit more experienced in some areas. So probably let's
Hmm.
assume you will extend to a couple of other people. Let's assume you are doing a project and two more people you want. So we
Okay.
have the possibility here in the Mattermost. We can create channels, and your only three will be there, and you can discuss.
Okay.
And whenever there is something which is there, which you can ask openly, you can always ask in the open channels. You can have your own private channel, and you can also have your own thing. And what I would suggest in that scenario, don't, I mean, keep your project wherever you want, but until when, but list it that this project is there, we are doing as part of this. And whenever you publish that, then you can make it open.
Okay, right, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, like, let's say if you're doing a thesis also, your thesis also,
Yeah.
you can make it open at that point of the time when it is completely done. When you feel like, okay, this can be open, at that point of the
Yeah.
time, you can do. Until then,
Till then,
private
if
rooms
I
will be there.
yeah. Yes, sir. Till
Exactly.
then, if I stuck in any specific task in that project, then I can ask
Exactly.
openly there.
Events. Please do keep checking about the events, whatever happening. We are trying to list as many events, and if somebody is doing any events also, we are listing out. We do require some help who can actually manage these things. Not only a couple of things people are managing always. So we do require help for doing these things also.